But the home I grew up in, my parents moved in there. I was about 8 years old, and we were going. The second floor had 4 bedrooms around the top. You walk up the stairs to the landing. There was a bedroom to your left. There's the master bedroom. Then, if you did a real lap around the landing to the opposite side of the house, there was 2 other bedrooms. My brother and my sister and I were going through the house with my parents, asking which rooms do you want. They wanted to see what we pick. The room across from the master bedroom, all 3 of us walked into the room and said, "No, we're not staying here. None of us want to stay in this room." The room was cold. We also had cats. We tried to take the cats in there. The cats wouldn't cross the threshold of the room. So we're sitting there we throw the cat in, all of a sudden the cat would shoot back out of the room. Out of nowhere. And then my stepfather decided, you know what? Let's have this be the guest room. Let other people put up with this. And so we all chose our rooms. And on the opposite side of the house, except my parents had the master bedroom across the way. And as it went, we realized that odd things would start happening. Lights would go on and off. One specific incident where we realized that there was something special about the house was my mom and I were outside and we were washing our cars in the driveway, where the bedroom where none of us wanted to stay would be at. We're sitting there washing our car, we look up, the curtain goes up and there's a face in the window. And then the curtain falls back down. My mom goes, "Is there anybody in the house? Is Jeff home?" I'm like, "No, I'm standing in front of you. There's nobody in the house." She goes, "There's someone in the house." I'm like, No. And she goes back, she's rinsing the car off, looks back up again, it happens again. And then she goes, "Fine, we're going inside." We went all through the house, no one's home. It was just her and I. Another incident was, my brother was in the military, he was in the Navy, and every time he came home, he'd always be in stress blues. And a friend of my mother's was driving past the house. She saw someone standing on the balcony, smoking a pipe. Which the pipe is very important. We'll get to that in a minute. And my mom's friend Linda calls the house and goes, "I didn't know Jeff was home. I mean, like I thought isn't he on duty?" It's like, "Yeah, he's out to sea. He's not going to be back for another 3 months." It's like, "Oh, there's a gentleman in uniform standing on your balcony." Beg your pardon? Another incident, we found out that the original owner, I'm not familiar with his first name, but the family name was Barnhart. He served in the Union Army, someone not really remarkable. And he and his family settled in southern Ohio, built this house. One of my first big incidents with Mr. Barnhart, I was asleep, and I woke up to the smell of cherry pipe tobacco. And there's a gentleman leaning in the back corner of my bedroom, kind of like this. And it's like I'm out of bed in a shot, and he's gone. But you can smell cherry pipe tobacco all through my room. Our downstairs living room, we found out, had family funerals. Every afternoon, around between 3 to 5 o'clock, it would smell like lilacs in the front living room. No flowers. It's southern Ohio. No matter what season it was, they have 4 seasons: winter, still winter, construction season. But you walk through that living room, and all you would smell like wild lilacs and wildflowers. The caretaker of the house that actually worked on the grounds at the time when we were living there told us, yeah, that's where the family had funerals. And we found out the family cemetery was about 10 miles up the road from us. And every person that had passed away from Mr. Barnhart's family, they had their funeral in that front living room. So I'm going to turn it over to you and see.
Okay, those are pretty good stories.
When I was interviewing Blake, you did tell me that one story about we came home and the cellar door. I did want to hear the cellar door story.
Okay, the cellar door story.